students, good morning all of you. Students, in previous lecture we have already discussed about the optimal choice of the consumer, which is also known as the utility maximization or the consumer's equilibrium. And all of you know, in our economics it is generally assumed that the consumer is a rational individual, means he knows what is good and what is bad for him or her, and any given situation every person or every consumer, they always try to achieve the best for himself or herself. So each and every consumer acts according to her preference, and from the bundles of the different types of the goods and services which are available to him, being a rational consumer always choose one of the bundle which gives him the maximum satisfaction. So, being a rational consumer's problem is to move the point on the highest possible indifference curve which is given him the budget set, and at that point the consumer get the maximum level of the satisfaction or maximum level of the utility. So we have already discussed all these points with the help of an example, and where means the point at which the budget line which touches or which tangent or intersect to the indifference curve, which will be optimum or which will be best for the consumer, because in that point the consumer get the maximum level of the satisfaction or maximum level of the utility. So students, in this section, means today we are going to take the more information about the demand function. Here the demand function, all of you know, the demand function shows the relationship between the quantity demanded and its determinants. Then what is the determinants? Determinants means it is factors. For example, determinants means the price of the good, or prices of the other goods, or taste, preferences, here the demand function which shows the relationship between the quantity demanded and its determinants. Determinants means it is nothing but the factors. For example, the prices of the good, prices of the other goods, tastes of the consumer, and the preferences of the consumer. Means here the demand is depend upon the price of the good and the prices of the other good, likewise tastes and preferences also. So students, the quantity demanded which is depends upon the other, means price of the good, prices of the other good, and tastes of and the preferences of the consumer. So demand function, it can be as means like this, quantity demanded is equal to F in bracket P, PR, Y, T, etc. etc. Students, here QD means quantity demanded. F means function, means demand function. And P means the price of the goods. PR means the prices of the other goods. Here the Y means the income of the consumer. T means the tastes and the preferences of the consumer. So here the demand function is expressed like this, means QD is equal to F in bracket P, PR, Y, T, etc. etc. So here the demand function is equal to the quantity demanded is equal to F in bracket P, means here the prices of the good, other goods, tastes, preferences, etc. etc. So here if we wanted to calculate the quantity demanded, then here the quantity demand which is depends upon the price of the commodity. All of you know, means we have already discussed all these things in the law of demand. All of you know, if the price of the commodity increases, then what happens? If the price of commodity increases, then demand for that commodity decreases. And suppose if the price of commodity decreases, then demand for that commodity increases. Means here the quantity demand which is depends upon the price of the commodity. So students, in the demand function, the price, it is an independent variable. Variable means here the changeable factor. So here the price, it is the independent variable and the quantity demanded which is a dependent variable. See here, the quantity demanded, it is a dependent. Why? Because we demand, means our demand is only depend upon the price of the commodity. So here the quantity demanded is the dependent variable. So the functional relationship between, means exactly how it is written. The functional relationship between the quantity demanded and its determinants, it is always written like this. Means the quantity demanded is equal to A minus BP. This is the linear demand function. And we use this function while calculate the quantity demanded. See here the QD means the quantity demanded and P means here the price. And A and B, these are the constant factor. Here A denotes the maximum limit of the function and the B which denotes the slope of the demand function. Means the changes in quantity which is depends upon changes in the price. All of you know here the demand function always have the negative slope. Why the demand function have always the negative slope? Students, because there is a inverse relationship between the price and the demand. Means there is an opposite relationship between the prices of the commodity and the quantity demanded. Means here, if the price of the commodity become more, then or it maybe increases, then demand for that commodity decreases. And if the price of the commodity decreases, then the demand for that commodity increases. So the demand function have always the negative slope means from upward to downward sloping, from left to right slope. So if we want to get the value of the variable function, means if we wanted to get the value of the changeable function, then it can be expressed QD is equal to 20 minus 2t. Means if we wanted to calculate the changes in the function, then we can express this like this: QD is 20 minus 2t. Here all of you know QD, which represents the quantity demanded, and here the 20 is a constant determinant and which denotes the maximum limit of the function. See here 20 is a constant and which denotes the maximum limit of the function. Means here the price will be 0, then quantity demanded is 20. See here 20 is a constant, it is not a changeable factor. So here it denotes the maximum limit or maximum level of the function. Means suppose if the price of commodity which become the 0, then the quantity demand is 21 because the 20 is a constant. So students, here the 20 is constant and it is, so when the price will be 0, then demand is 20 because the 20 is a constant. Means it is a point where the demand curve intersects to the OX axis. Here when the 20 is a constant, means demand is the positive, then it is the point where the demand curve intersect to the OX axis. Intersect means to touch the OX axis, and the minus 2 which denotes the slope of the demand curve. Means here all of you know when the price changes, the demand also changes. So here the minus 2 which denotes the slope of the demand curve, and all of you know the slope of the demand curve, it is always the negative. Means it is the downward slope. Why? Because when the prices changes, then demand also changes. If the price of commodity increases, then demand decreases. So here the minus 2 which denotes the slope of the demand curve, and it is accompanied by the variable P. Means here P means here the price of the commodity. So here minus 2 is the coefficient of the price. So students, we will explain it with the help of an example. Means how we calculate the quantity demanded using this formula. Means using the demand function. See here, suppose if the price of tomato per kg at different points of the time is the rupees 4, rupees 5, rupees 6, rupees 7 and rupees 8. Then students, if the price of tomato per kg at different points of time is a difference, then you calculate the quantity demanded which is demanded by the consumer or which is demanded by the person. And here, if we wanted to calculate the quantity quantity demanded, which is demanded by a particular person or the consumer, then here we should use the demand function. Means here the quantity demanded is equal to 20 minus 2p. So let us we calculate the quantity demanded by the consumer. Means when the price of the commodity is rupees 4, then using this formula we calculate the quantity demanded by the consumer. Here the quantity demanded is equal to 20 minus 2p is the demand function, and we should apply the price of the commodity. Means the tomato per kg is rupees 4. See here the 20 here 2 p means when the price of tomato per kg is rupees 4, then here the 2 into 4 is equal to 8. So 20 minus 8 is equal to 12. Means here if the price of commodity is rupees 4, then the consumer demanded the 12 units of tomato. Then when the price of commodity is rupees 5, then how much quantity the consumer demanded? Suppose when the price of commodity is rupees 5, then here see here the 20 minus 2 into 5 is equal to 10. Then 20 minus 10 is equal to 10. So here when the price of tomato per kg is rupees 4, then the consumer demanded the 10 units of the tomato. Then when the price is rupees 6, then how much quantity the consumer demanded? Here quantity demanded is equal to 20 minus 2 in bracket p. So here 20 minus 2 in bracket 6. So 20 minus 6 into 2 is equal to 12. Means when the price of commodity is rupees 6, then consumer demanded only 8 units of tomato. And if the price of commodity is rupees 8, or sorry, when the price of commodity is rupees 7, then quantity demanded is equal to 20 minus 2 in bracket p, then 20 minus 2 in bracket 7, then here the 20 minus 14 is equal to, means only 6 units of the tomato the consumer demanded when the price of tomato per kg is rupees 7. And if the price of commodity increases, means it's become the rupees 8, then the quantity demanded by the consumer is, see here the 20 minus 2 in bracket p means the 20 minus 2 in bracket 8 is equal to 20 minus 16, then here the 4 units. Means here only the 4 units of tomato the consumer demanded at the price 8. Means here if all of you observe, you will come to know at the price rupees 4 the consumer demanded the 12 units of the tomato, but at the price rupees 8 per kg the consumer demanded only the 4 units of the tomato. Means here if the price of commodity increases, the demand for that commodity means here when the price changes, then demand also changes. So here the demand function which shows the relationship between the quantity demanded and the price of the good as well as the prices of the other goods, likewise the tastes and preferences of the consumer. Means students, the demand function which shows the relationship between the price of the good, prices of the other goods, likewise the tastes and preferences of the consumer. Means here the price is the independent variable and quantity demanded is a dependent variable. Why? Because our demand which is depend upon the price of the commodity. So students, this is all about the demand function. Hope all of you understood this concept. Thank you.